The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
So who is the wealthiest candidate contesting in the Golden Isles by-election? We have the numbers coming up for you. What do the dollar figures reveal? Is this the new direction of politicians and politics in the Bahamas? Also tonight, Aram Lewis, the COI's MP in Central Grand Bahama, telling Grand Bahama it's time to vote for real change. Later tonight, DJ Overdose joins me. The DJ, who was recently named a cultural ambassador, talks about what he's been up to since being given the diplomatic post. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. We begin with this topic tonight, a topic that fascinates so many of you each election season: the net worth of candidates. Well, their net worths are now public. The disclosures made as the contenders in the upcoming by-election and Golden Isles publicize their financial net worth. It's a formality leading up to any election. Jose Etienne digs into who tops the most wealthy list among the four candidates.
Free National Movement candidate Brian Brown is heading into the upcoming Golden Isles by-election as the wealthiest contender in the single-seat race that's just 3 weeks away. According to financial disclosures gazetted in the local daily today, Brown declared total assets valued at $2.627 million, including more than $1.7 million in securities, $780,000 in real estate, and $50,000 in personal property. He listed a yearly salary of $45,000 and $84,400 in rental income, bringing his total income to $139,000 with liabilities amounting to $235,000, tied primarily to mortgages and accounts payable. Number 2 on the wealthiest candidate index, the governing Progressive Liberal Party's candidate Darren Pickstock, who jointly filed with his wife Sapna Chatalani. The former senator, now seeking to enter frontline politics, declared total assets valued at $1.72 million, including $450,000, and in separate real estate holdings, $200,000 in securities, $100,000 in savings, $50,000 in a current account. The couple reported total income of $480,000, coming exclusively from salary. But Pickstock also listed the highest liabilities of any candidate, $425,000, including $245,000 in notes payable and $180,000 in mortgages. Their total declared net worth stands at $1.295 million. But Coalition of Independents candidate Brian Roll's disclosures stand out after he reported a total asset of $602,000 and zero liabilities, giving him a net worth equal to his asset total. Roll listed $65,000 in savings, $25,000 in automobiles, and $500,000 in personal property. Roll reported an annual salary of $37,000 with no additional income sources. Meanwhile, former F&M candidate Karen Butler, who's now contending this by-election independently, declared a net worth of $531,340, significantly below her rivals. Butler reported assets totaling $477,000, including $300,000 in real estate, $120,000 in personal property, and $52,000 in cash and savings. However, Butler also reported $160,000 in mortgage liabilities, along with a salary of $52,000 and an additional $2,500 in other income. Their disclosures are simply yet another step towards an imminent by-election on November 24th that will determine which party restores representation to a constituency that has seemingly shown no allegiance to either major or alternative party in recent years. Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Well, the FNM's Brian Brown is the most wealthy candidate. We heard his net worth. Let's look at his annual income, $138,600. That's around $11,500 a month. The PLP's Darren Pickstock follows Brown in net worth. His annual income, $430,000. That's about $35,800 a month. Independent Karen Butler's net worth follows Pickstock's. Her annual salary is $54,500. That's a monthly income of $4,541. Coalition of Independents' Brian Rolls has an annual income of $37,000. That's about $3,083 a month. And so this evening, we begin right there. With the country, of course, headed to the polls and looking for more from their representatives and their candidates, let's talk about the wealth factor. Let's talk about how candidates now, the new expectation of how candidates, politicians, members of parliament must show up. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines contributors, Peggy Candace and Gabrielle McKenzie Aeneas. Ladies, you all always put me in a tongue twister whenever you all show up, always. Ladies, good evening to both of you. It's wonderful having you both here.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. Good evening, Shanique.
Yes, ladies, it's good to see you both. Listen, let's jump right in. Fascinating information. Again, this is what we look forward to when it's gazetted. The income, of course, the income or the net worth of candidates, politicians, incumbents, whomever. It's always fascinating to see where they stand and how suitable are they to come and seek your vote to lead the area and the community that you call home. What vision do they have? And a lot of times that net worth can kind of sort of give you an idea about, listen, their vision and how they plan to help you grow yours and all the rest of it. And so, ladies, good evening to you both once again. Is this the new face of politics in the Bahamas and also what's expected from politicians, you think?
I think it is, Shanique. No longer can you not afford to run. I think if you come now with a questionable amount of savings or income or property investment or of investment portfolio, it lends to question, okay, how are you managing your affairs? And can we look at how you manage your affairs and say, well, $150,000 annual for constituency funds? How will you manage that? How will you manage responsibility if you were given a portfolio, a ministerial portfolio? And so we can look at these individual personal lives, their personal finances, and say, well, if you can't save, how can you do this? If you are not able to make sound financial decisions in your personal life, how can we trust you with a national portfolio or trust you to make sound financial decision or any decision on behalf of a nation of people? And so I think it is best for us to look at and monitor how these individuals manage their financial affairs and also their personal lives. What are their trophies? What do they have to show for 30, 40, 50 years of living? I think that is important going forward.
Yeah, I concur with you, Candice, tonight. But the savings so much, the liquidity of the candidate doesn't matter as much to me, but the diversification of what they did with their income, how they diversified their assets, things like that. And we see the top two at the chart have a number of investments in terms of securities, in terms of real estate, which means they did a lot with the liquid flow, cash flow that they had coming in to make sure that in times of hardship that they can, in a pinch, liquefy their assets. But what really stands out to me, is the Coalition of Independents candidate who declared no liability. And even the average hardworking person, even somebody who runs the tightest ship, you don't owe Cable Bahamas who to send the bill out on the 1st of every month
BPL.
Before the bill due. You don't owe BPL any money. You owe no one. Either you are running an extremely tight ship where you pay your bills ahead, or it opens the door for scrutiny on how did you fill out your disclosure form. Are there some question marks to say that you don't have a car note, you don't have any type of loans? Also, oftentimes, people use other person's names. So are the loans maybe informal? This is not to imply that they have informal loans, but sometimes, you know, you might get the light turned on in your cousin's name or something else. I don't know if that's the case, but to say you have no liabilities, it raises a question mark, not just for myself, but I think also for the residents of Golden Isles.
Yeah, it raised many red flags. Especially the one thing that concerned me was the $500,000 other. What I think that for that amount, it should be breaking down. There should be greater explanation, and then a $65,000 savings account on a $37,000 income.
But surely,
and no other income.
Well, but that could have been over the years. You know, some people are extremely frugal.
If we're gonna
know how to budget.
Do a KYC on him, there gotta be some explanation. There gotta be a greater level of scrutiny and accountability. What makes up the 500,000 other? That is a question that needs to be breaking down, and I'm surprised that they accepted it. It is not that you have other, but the number, $500,000, needs to be further explained for the public. This is a public disclosure, and so it needs to be further explained. It needs to be further explained. How can you have a $65,000 saving accounts and you make $37,000 annually? Now,
So you all are.
Yes. I think
it's
over the years.
still
I don't
should-
think that's
And
a
I'll
lot
tell
of
you
money.
this: sometimes you
For
can come into
$37,000,
a
$3,000
lump sum payment, and just decide to leave it alone, put it somewhere, and leave it.
Retirement,
I
severages,
see.
pensions. Oftentimes,
You're
when person
talking about a man in
jobs,
his 30s, I think, or something like that.
when you-
At 37.
I want
Come
to give
on.
I want to give him the benefit of doubt. Maybe he walked away from a job. You know, oftentimes PPL offered severance packages, voluntary separation packages.
Listen, it could have
Atlantis
been
does
something
it.
along those
But
lines,
yeah,
and he decided
it
smartly
opens doors
to
for
leave it.
this type of speculation.
And rightly so, but are you all saying, like for example, in the US, how they encourage you to build a credit? Are you saying that this track record of some liability, of some sort of a diversification of portfolio or portfolios, that all of this is now what we're looking for in the Bahamas? This is the track record, the footprint, the handprint we're looking for our elected officials to come to our doors with?
Persons have been crying that if you're too broke, you come in the teeth. If you got too much money, what you really want, you coming for power, you coming for something. They want you right along the middle, Shanique. They don't want you too rich, because then what you really come to get, you come for self-interest, you come to make some laws to benefit yourself. If you're too broke, you come to teeth from us. So I think right along the middle line is safe. Okay, you're a little decent, you got one little savings, we could work with you. You can do you like us.
You like
And I think, pardon me, 1 second, but I think that is also a poverty, stay where you are, no growth mindset, because we know in this election, that's right, that's why I started with asking, is the face, the energy, the look of Bahamian politics and Bahamian politicians changing? We know we have some exceptionally successful. Most of our politicians are, by the way.
But
They are wealthy. But starting out the gate, we have others who are quite successful. And have been as well. You remember, we've had a deputy prime minister before who is perhaps known as one of the wealthiest in the nation. What I'm saying is, and I see nothing wrong with that at all. I am wondering though, what is it we want? Because remember a voice note that went out that said, listen, we need somebody who can relate to us, sit under the coconut tree, swat mosquitoes, and talk old stories. I mean, what we have got to as a nation begin to raise who it is that we figure we are looking at in order to raise our own consciousness and raise our standards.
Shanique, strangely enough, last night I was thinking along those lines, and I put out a post with 3 individuals who I call really non-politician, who are now a part of this political season. Sebastian, Mr. Robert Karen, sorry, I don't know what, Mr. Robert Karen, and Andrew Blue Johnson, who's interested in Freetown. And I put their faces out there. I said, some people ask, what more do they want? And amazingly, there were the people who responded, oh, they want power. I said, but money is power. They're powerful, man. They're influential, man. It cannot be the state that they just want to serve. And so many people could not accept the fact that these successful Bahamian businessmen want to enter frontline politics to make life better for other Bahamians. I mean, if they want to lose their bid, they go back to successful lives. But I think the new faces in politics have opened even more questions to the traditional politician when it comes to wealth, when it comes to the ability
success,
to
their
success,
their footprint, their corporate footprint, their whatever, even perhaps maybe if they have been employed in executive positions, how have these men and women gone about expanding that and growing that net worth at that level to where many of them are today? And again, the majority of our people who are offering themselves have quite the track record to show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think in Golden Isles, that is very evident that of actually all of the candidates offering, the disclosures, I must give it to them, are pretty good. With the exception of that little eyebrow raise for no liabilities, the disclosures are good. That shows that the person's offering themselves, Brian Brown leading the way, followed by Mr. Pickstock, and then we had
the
independent, Miss Karen,
and then the coalition,
Brian it Roll. Shows that these persons have been able to manage their personal expenses and funds very, very well. So given the opportunity, they should be able to manage a constituency budget well.
And see, that's what we're talking about as well. That's what we're talking about. But even more than that, because, you know, gone are the days where the MP sits and say, man, the government ain't sent it yet.
Yes.
The government,
it's unacceptable.
We still waiting on the government to send it. We're still waiting on the government to do this or do the next thing. And this is why I feel, and I'm not saying everyone must have seven wonderful, exceptional figures in their account, but why not, eh? If not, why not? I'm just saying, though, when we demand more from them in every which way, then all of us rise and all of us are lifted.
You know, when we had the previous conversation a few weeks ago, we were talking about Michael and aspiring candidate, Mr. Robert. One of the things I said, you have to be able, especially in a constituency level as a Michael, be able to
mobilize. 5 different areas.
Yes, you have to be able to mobilize on behalf of the people without the government waiting for the treasury, which we know that could churn for weeks. And so I think the demand now that Bahamians place on their politician and still call them thieves, it calls for the capacity, the financial capacity to be able to get things done for your constituents without depending on that 150,000, which is like in today's money value about 50,000. When it comes to 5 islands, how do you make that? How do you make
who
that
gets
happen?
what and when? And so you're right. We just need people offering and showing up with more members of parliament who have more, a greater capacity to really serve and make a difference. Listen, it's all about politics, you all. I'll tell you, next week we begin the new series. Ooh. Yep, absolutely. You've been seeing the promo all over. Temperature check. And this is when we dissect each constituency one a week. And so we really take our time and look at the contenders and look at that area and look at what's needed and who's making the most sense. That's right. And are they fully done or are they just exceptional? We're going to get into all of it. But when we come back, though, we're going to hear Aram Lewis giving Grand Bahama a charge. That's right. And then what's happening in Exuma with the Rosewood Exuma Resort? We'll talk about that after the break.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
Bahamas is all about Alpha Songs, 25 years of greatness. Kesty Band is going to be there to celebrate. You don't know.
Them just want to jump. Don't tell me about work in the morning. Unless we're talking hard work. Talking hard work. Talking hard work. Hello. And I feel like I just win $1 million. Ready to go, yeah. We go make them jump. We go make them jump. We go make them jump. Them just want to jump.
Miss Oshine, Makiawe, bless up.
As a resident of Golden Isles for the past 22 years, I've lived there, served as the chairman for the constituency for the past 11 years. I know the needs, I know the infrastructure needs, I know the needs that the people in Golden Isles need. I drive through there every day. Some of the needs is the healthcare system, the environment. We're looking at it, safety in terms of the police presence being in the constituency on a daily basis. And so I'm excited about it. I'm excited to get Golden Isles up and running and making sure that it's be the best constituency in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. My name is Brian Berkeley Brown from the great constituency of Golden Isles. I'm asking that you lend me a vote so I could work for you.
Ever feel like you're missing your own life because you're constantly running off to the bathroom? Do bladder leaks or pelvic discomfort have you up at night and affect your confidence in everyday life? Those days are over. At Frequency Vitality Center, we offer a solution. Completely painless, fully clothed with no downtime. Perfect for men and women of any age, we help strengthen the pelvic floor muscles while you sit comfortably, improving bladder control, decreasing night waking, and much more. Strengthen your foundation and restore your confidence.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a day single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Tings Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations excluding the airport and food truck.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills with no more estimates. Digital meters also help detect leaks early, saving you from costly bills and reducing water waste. Soon, a user-friendly app will let you track your water usage, manage bills, and stay informed, all at your fingertips. Over the next year, we're rolling out digital meters nationwide, transforming how we serve you with a safer and cost-efficient water supply. To learn about our digital meters, visit our website or call us today. And don't forget to update your information at any of our locations.
I feel good when you're wrapped up in my arms, dancing to a reggae song. Feel good, feel good. I feel good, cause your perfume isn't loud, and only I can talk about. Feel good, feel good. Feel like velvet rubbing over my skin. And when your hair...
Beyond the Headlines is now introducing powerful TV advertising opportunities made just for you. Choose our television ad package, 20 30-second ads for $2,000 or 20 60-second ads for $2,500 plus VAT. Prefer flexibility? Go a la carte. Just $150 for a 30-second ad or $200 for a 60-second ad. Step into the spotlight with our interview package. 1 15-minute interview for $500 or 4 for $15 per month. or bring Beyond the Headlines directly to you with our live on location package, only $2,600 plus VAT. For more information, contact our sales agent at 242-466-6173.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's so awesome to have you all here. Of course, we were talking just before the break about the net worth of the net worths of the men and one woman offering themselves in the Golden Isles constituency, the by-election that's coming up in a matter of weeks, really. And of course, listen, you all saw one of the candidates smartly, yes, advertising right here. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This show is available to you for your individual run and campaign, for your party, whatever it is you need this show to do in this election season. By all means, welcome aboard. And if you want a special interview, as you will see many candidates doing between now and the general election, by all means as well, reach out to our sales and marketing team. Yes, absolutely. Meanwhile, you all, let's run quickly. With the country expected to head to the polls next year, the Coalition of Independents Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Aram Lewis, is urging residents in Grand Bahama to think about the future as they head to the ballot box. Laurencia Smith has the story.
Central Grand Bahama Member of Parliament Iram Lewis, a representative for the Coalition of Independents, says it's time for Grand Bahamians to move past what he calls seesaw politics and vote for real change. Lewis, who spoke with Eyewitness News on Tuesday, says the island has regressed over the years, struggling to recover from series of hurricanes and unfulfilled promises.
If persons were to be honest in Grand Bahama, the pendulum has been swinging back and forth from 1997, FNM PLP. And if you look at the real progress in Grand Bahama, it has not really moved. The island has not really moved. In fact, we've regressed. The Freeport that I grew up knowing, the Freeport itself, the Magic City, doesn't exist anymore. Good parties that manages the economy. You only manage and you pretty much watch over what is there and you maintain it. We need to move beyond management now and move into leadership, which will change the whole future of our country.
Lewis' comments follow reports that he resigned from the COI, claims he dismissed, saying he remains committed to the party, and says that he's not moved by what is being described as political mischief.
In my thinking and my movement and my goals, and I'm not easily distracted, and I won't let anyone blow whistles and play music that I would dance to. So it doesn't rattle me.
Lewis previously resigned from the Free National Movement back in April, saying he's remained focused on fighting for the Bahamian people.
Make the Bahamas a better place for Bahamians. And I often say in Parliament, while persons are worried about the next election, I'm worried about the next generation. Because we have to build a future for them. And right now, we're putting burdens on our children, on our grandchildren that they don't deserve. So we have to find a way to take the load off our generation.
Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
And so there you have it, of course, Central Grand Bahama Member of Parliament Aram Lewis speaking really about what he sees as the way forward. Listen, Peggy and Gabrielle, your thoughts about Lewis. Lewis has been and always been a quiet Member of Parliament, no doubt one with strength because he has been re-elected before in Central Grand Bahama, but this time, of course, facing re-election. He is the nominee, no doubt, and the incumbent in Central Grand Bahama going into the general election, and speaking, looks very authoritative and sure of himself as he speaks to the people.
Iram is a very intelligent man. He's very, in terms of intellect, he's an excellent architect. Iram is my personal friend, and so I'm going to be. I have a personal bias when it comes to Iram Lewis. I'm going to be honest. I have a personal bias when it comes to
friend as well,
Iram Lewis. I may not agree, however, though, with his stance right now in terms of where he sits. But Iram, in terms of the person, I don't have anything bad to say about Iram as an individual, as a human being, as a person. He is excellent in terms of the field. He has lended his hand to a lot of the developments that happen in this country, including the National Stadium, including the International Airport. His architectural specialties, Iram is indeed top notch when it comes to that field and that industry. So I don't have anything bad to say about Iram as it relates to that. In terms of politics and Iram being a politician, well,
he's your friend.
That's my friend.
Hold on, Gabrielle, wait a minute, hold on.
Thank
Now,
Jesus,
on this show.
Oh, listen, Peggy ain't got nothing to say today.
No, thank to Jesus, he's
talk
not
now,
my
Peggy.
friend, because I'm sitting there going through my memory bank and I'm like, this dude damn beat to the second time. And he talking about the failure of Grand Bahama, the failures of Grand Bahama and what didn't happen. So you were part of the administration and you were also part of the official opposition until a few months ago when you cross over and you're asking, or you're talking about like this something brand new to you. Did you fail your constituency is the question I ask you. How can you account for what is lacking in your constituency on your island? And so when you come playing brand new, you ain't my friend. I can remember and recall, I have no problems expressing and asking these questions. Personally, I felt all that talk yesterday, those trending stories, was for today to get some attention for COI. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been talking about them. So, Mr. Lewis, when you come clean and tell us what you did annually for your 150,000 constituency funds to develop it, did you maintain your parks? Did you do this? Did you do that? Account for what you did over the last almost 9 years of service in your constituency on the island.
But when you open up that ditch, you got to open up too, because the same could be said in Golden Isles and other constituencies where a person
listen to me, Gabrielle, we will not discuss Golden Isles. The member of Parliament, wait a minute, Gabrielle, keep your mouth shut, because the member of Parliament,
I'm not talking about that member of Parliament.
The member of Parliament that is no more.
I'm talking about.
He kept the area clean, and he did some stuff.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the statement that was made by the candidate in terms of the state of neglect, on how he feels like many constituents, I'm quoting Mr. Pickstock, in terms of many constituents feeling neglect. Now, what he may have meant, he could have been speaking about a numerous of constituencies.
Which he came out later and said he was.
So whom the cap fits wear it. But I'm just saying, this is not a one-stop shop.
Well,
this could be applied to many things.
The former member of Golden Isles did his best. Focus on what Aram Lewis said, please.
But
okay,
this is what I said in a video this morning. They're scavenger hunting when it comes to things to complain about. But Mr. Lewis brought this up. Mr. Lewis is being critical of government when he was a part of the government, when he's still the serving member of Parliament, still getting access to that $150,000 for as meager as it is. How do he account for its participation and the failure that he claims to?
Maybe he was one of those who wasn't the chosen, like they say. You have those times who wasn't getting much attention. You have those persons who was there, but they wasn't getting, in every party, they wasn't getting much attention. So I'm saying that
a cabinet minister even for a short time. But like I said, 9 years as the member of Parliament for his constituency. How do we account for speaking about failure? So you are really confessing, and you should not be re-elected. I don't care which flag or ticket you want. He's not my friend, he's your friend.
Yeah, but as I will move on to spare our friend. Listen, I tell you, listen to me, but I'll tell you this though. Temperature check is no sparing of no friends.
No.
And all friendships have to be rest to the side. Because when we discuss these constituencies and your footprint and what your report card says in this term, it will be all gospel, all like everything that's happened. But fair, certainly, but certainly, accurate. Of course, be accurate, absolutely. And so each person, each week will have to actually go in, call, speak with residents, whomever it is, to do your investigation so that you come here and present the truth as far as you were able to genuinely gather the information, even if that calls for speaking with the individual themselves or the new one that's interested. And so it's going to be quite engaging, quite interesting. And so we will certainly look forward to that. The temperatures can be tight. In fact, Justin,
don't let yours rise. You let yours rest.
I ever ready.
Justin and D'Angelo, Carlisle, if you're in the back there, chance anybody, that Sean Paul temperature, you know the temperature or something?
Yeah.
But have that on standby. That's it. That's that. Boom, boom, boom. That's it right there. Listen, the Integra Group, the owners of the luxury Rosewood Exuma project, broke ground in September to get work on the $200 million hotel, a luxury brand. You all know the one that's here in New Providence. Well, the sister hotel to that started. They even got the thumbs up from Prime Minister Davis, who said the Exuma Rosewood strikes the right balance. Well, since then, this is now about 2 months ago, the resort has hit a snag and has not moved one step forward since then, since the groundbreaking. A court injunction has stopped it all and stopped all the action, no construction at all. And it's not sitting well, though, with the residents of Exuma. I'm talking residents on Black Point, Daniel Key, Farmers Key, even mainland Exuma, who are looking forward to welcoming the new business to Exuma. Here's Felipe McLean, the CEO, who sat with me here on this show a few months ago.
Here, okay. So this project is not just a project of Felipe McLean and Rosewood Exuma. This is a project that is being done with the community in Exuma. This is a project that is going to have a tremendous economic impact, north of $1.6 billion. This is a project that is going to put $336 million in the pockets of the Exumians and the Bahamians that are going to be working directly and indirectly. This is a project that is transformational for the region, and this is a project that is being done with the best of the best in terms of brand, in terms of consultants. We're working with the best consultants here in Bahamas, where we have a big team behind this project, and we believe that definitely the Exuma Keys have the potential to be the new ultra-luxury destination of the world, and everything starts by putting a strong brand like Rosewood, commanding the highest standards, not only for the operation, but also the highest standards for consciousness on the environment, sustainability. We have the opportunity to bring new technologies. We have the opportunity to be innovative with technologies in such an amazing project with all the different collaborations that we can do with the best brands of the world.
Thank you. Right there. Temperature check, y'all. Right there. That's what we're talking about. You know what? Justin, you will never be a D'Angelo. That's all I'm saying. You will never be. And
you ain't do Justin like that. You could do the award-winning Justin like that.
Oh, I forgot. No,
you
I forgot.
Forget the award-winning.
Take
your time. Ease up on Justin.
His ego don't let me forget that.
Ease up.
Listen, Rashad McPhee, Justin Williamson, D'Angelo. What's your last name? D'Angelo has recently joined the D'Angelo Bowleg, Carlisle Harris, Chance Collymore, if you're in the back there, like all my guys.
Yes.
Thank you all for that. That's what we're going to be doing next week. I mean, we can like... And every time we do it, y'all, when we say fully... You all see Dr. Minutes dancing, by the way?
Listen, focus. Get to what we're supposed to get to.
Dr. Minutes dancing.
Dr. Minutes just talking about you getting it. See, no. Y'all didn't tell me we're turning off topic and y'all two over here talking. Hi. Meantime.
Listen to me.
Focus.
We will get to that tomorrow evening. Because he ain't just him dancing. I see Keith Bell dancing. I see Dr. Fox dancing. I see so many of these incumbents, MPs, aspirants dancing. I see Joe Beth dancing.
Yes.
So we're going to have a whole dance section. How about that? We can look at that and see who got the best rhythm.
Who got cultural ambassador?
Who got the rhythm? Yes. So listen, no, you all. But what's happening in Rosewood is really unfortunate. And the government, I don't know how the government can step in because it's a private entity. But to have a foreign investor standing in the way of progress that can benefit hundreds in the Bahamas, hundreds of Bahamians, hundreds of people in Exuma. I mean, what can we do? It's happened before. We've sat back and allowed it.
It's a court injunction.
Yeah, but then there is
it's a court injunction. What
this is a country, and if the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth Obama said that it's a good fit, that's all I gotta say. Make it happen.
It's a court injunction.
Make it happen.
Fred Smith, I'm gonna crown him king of injunctions.
Yeah.
See, that's what he's good at. That's what you routine him. Whatever you want to be stopped, it's going to be stopped. Now, you have to find out what were the legal premises for the judge to grant it. Obviously, there were some things that allowed it. So we got to get some better lawyers.
No, Felipe, listen to me. If the Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister attend your function, who is also Minister of Tourism.
Let's deal with this.
Exactly. And on top of that, I have interviewed Felipe McLean several times. This man has done more than his fair share of what's necessary to meet environmental standards and ensure that the natural habitat is protected and will be protected, and got the green light. It is an overzealous other investor.
We didn't live through this.
You all didn't see that player on iGod Key and the rest and the other one between those two billionaires?
Yes.
And so this cannot be repeated.
This
story is not over. We're going to get to this. We're going to fully examine it. We're going to hear from residents in Exuma. We're going to hear it from other people on the ground.
Especially with Sandoz closed.
With Sandoz closed. What do you want the people to do?
Mr. Ryan
Pick green peas? That's what you want them to do?
Should not be sleeping. There's a remedy.
Get the Exuma project.
Let's get this started.
Yes.
Let's put people in their prospective places in this country. You will not come here and stop progress for your selfish purpose. And so I'm looking forward to hearing from the Attorney General himself, the Attorney General's staff. Sleepless night. Let's resolve this. Let's make this happen for our country, for Exumian and the wider Bahamas.
Absolutely. The economy needs it, and the people of Exuma certainly need it, because Sandoz is perhaps wherever that is. But certainly that Rosewood project is an amazing asset to Exuma and should happen.
Yes.
Beyond the Headlines is back right after this.
My late husband, Tyrone Albury, had a passion for brewing beer at home. We found one of his recipes and we started on the stovetop with 1 gallon of beer. It was a hobby that turned into a passion project that turned completely out of control. We had to make a decision whether or not we were going to continue home brewing or open a brewery. So craft beer is basically brewing a very small batch of beer. Every individual batch of beer is going to be slightly different.
We're always trying to figure out what the next best beer is going to be.
Just the sheer amount of love and effort that goes into every brew. It's a science, really, to selecting the right grains and the hops, and then expanding on some of the normals.
Really, in the last couple of years, we've had a lot more of the locals that have found our location.
They realize that there is a fuller flavor beer out there, and we take pride in that. When we first started the concept of the brewery and we were looking for funding, it was the SBDC that we leaned on to help me push through at times when I wanted to give up, to tell me when I was making mistakes, and for that, I am grateful. So I would encourage all entrepreneurs, if you're looking for funding, mentorship, and encouragement to launch your new business idea, I would encourage you to contact the SBDC.
Are you ready to take the next step in growing your business? Check your eligibility for our guaranteed loan program at sbdcbahamas.com/GLP or call 461-7232 to learn more about how the SBDC can support your business.
Running out of space? We've got room for that. Welcome to Skyline Storage, your trusted self-storage solution. Skyline Storage offers units from 5x10 to 10x30, climate controlled or standard dry. Perfect for home or business. Located in Westfield Commerce Park, Western New Providence. Your belongings stay safe with gated access and 24/7 surveillance starting at $175 a month. Reserve, pay, and move in online. No phone calls, no paperwork. Visit SkylineStorage.com. Skyline Storage. Storage made simple.
Are you ready, Bahamas? Get up, get moving, and join us at IL Fit Fest. Saturday, November 15th at the University of the Bahamas Playing Field. From 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. We're talking a variety of fitness vendors, free health screenings, and $10,000 in giveaways. And for the kids, we have a Kids Zone. And entry is absolutely free. Don't miss the IL Fit Fest.
The race to 2026 is heating up, and the nation's voice is louder than ever. Here on Beyond the Headlines, we're checking the mood, the momentum, and the message of the people. I'm Shanique Miller. Each week, we're taking the temperature of the electorate to see what's really driving the nation. Who's connecting? Who's cooling off? What issues are heating up ahead of 2026? This is Temperature Check 2026, where journalism meets the nation's heartbeat.
Beyond the Headlines is now introducing powerful TV advertising opportunities made just for you. Choose our television ad package, 20 30-second ads for $2,000 or 20 60-second ads for $2,500 plus VAT. Prefer flexibility? Go a la carte. Just $150 for a 30-second ad or $200 for a 60-second ad. Step into the spotlight with our interview package. One 15-minute interview for $500 or 4 for $15 per month. Or bring Beyond the Headlines directly to you with our live on location package, only $2,600 plus VAT. For more information, contact our sales agent at 242-466-6173.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Well, you all are in for a treat because this guy is known, not just locally or even regionally, but internationally, doing amazing things. But you know what? You may have seen him today at Burger King. So he goes like from big stages and just everywhere internationally to the Burger King nearest you. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Jasper Thomas, better known as DJ Overdose. Hello to you. Hello to Ambassador. Listen,
Thank you.
It's good to have you here.
I'm still getting accustomed to the title, you know.
Yeah?
I'm still getting accustomed to
but
it. Every time I hear the title, it's like kind of unbelievable.
No,
you know?
but like, how do your peers respond to it? And then obviously you have heard it one or two times, but how did they respond to it when they heard that, listen, do you know this guy is an excellency and he's an ambassador, like for real?
So I'll give you a funny story. So I always kind of Google it like every other day. I'll Google it every other day and be like, what's the correct title for my, ambassadorship? And when I saw HE, I was like, no way.
Yes, His Excellency.
I was like, no way.
You had them boys in the back. You see the names I called a minute ago?
Yeah.
All of them came to meet you and I didn't say, Shanique, now listen, don't forget, he's His Excellency. I said, okay, I remember.
Yeah, we just waiting on the passport too,
Hold on, you ain't get the green. Is it green or red? Which you ain't get it yet? Now come on now, y'all.
We're waiting on it.
Make it fully official.
Yeah,
but listen,
because
let's just talk about. You've had an amazing career. You've made a career out of something that people just do as a habit, and maybe they happen to get paid.
Correct.
The little neighborhood party or some event happening. You see a DJ or hear a DJ, and that's about it. No. You have redefined that for Bahamians. Normally you see more Americans becoming celebrity DJs, and in fact, they're celebrities. This is what you've become.
Correct.
From these small islands in the Bahamas.
Yep.
How did that even happen? How did your love of music turn into that?
Great parents, man. Great parents. I have to give them all the credit. And not even just my parents, my family. My brother took a whole sacrifice, to let us leave St. Augustine's. I did 1 year at St. Augustine's and we went homeschool just for my career. And from there.
So your parents, well, let's slow down a little bit.
Correct.
So somehow you obviously became interested in music.
Yeah. So I just had a love for music at a young age, and then I got introduced to the craft, to the art of DJing, and from there I was self-taught, like honestly.
And so you and your brother were enrolled in St. Augustine's.
Correct. He was in the 9th grade. I was in the 7th grade.
And your parents just decided somehow there's something to this.
Yeah.
We're going to take them both out so that I guess obviously should direct that money elsewhere.
Correct.
So we'll take them both out, homeschool them,
Correct.
and what?
And from there, the rest became history, So we went there. My brother's now in aviation school. He's doing that. I took, the path of just pursuing my non-traditional, career choice. And from there, they invested in me heavily. We had individuals that came down to the Bahamas, saw me play invited me to play elsewhere, like in Atlanta, I think it was South Carolina, and Miami. Those were the first 3 places I went. This was 2017. And from there, I was just given opportunities, and from there, I just had to make it work and show everybody what I have. And from there, like, you know, before the pandemic hit, I had a few international places lined up, and then the pandemic hit, it became a setback for a lot of people. For me, it's one of the biggest blessings for me.
What did you do in the pandemic? Like, what did you do to turn the world that shut down?
Correct.
No, nothing was moving.
Correct.
How did that become the biggest moment and the moment that really established you?
I went back to foundation. So I used to do a online radio at a tender age, like about maybe 12, I think. That's when online radios were like a thing within our generation, and that died down. But during the pandemic, I was like, you know what, let me just revive this. I want to still feel like I'm outside. So I did that. Did it locally one night, randomly. First night, 40,000 people. Couldn't believe it. 40,000
Bahamas
people.
and outside the Bahamas.
Correct. 40,000. I did it for 2 weeks straight, 9 to 12. 2 weeks straight in the house. That's when we had the first lockdown.
Yes.
And from there, it just blew up. It went from audio to video to doing birthday Zooms for people to doing Zooms just around the world, like for different international people, recording sets, sending it to events for people that was already out. The outdoor world was open. Certain places, they were having events. So they were doing a lot of live streams. So I did that set in my house, all these different things. So, and then from there, when the world opened up, I gained access to a gentleman that was like a booking agent, and he's based in the States. And from there, like, he just took on a lot of work for me, and from there, I was traveling ever since, every weekend. I'm not
I know
in one place.
because someone that you know very well was on the show, and they said, listen, Overdose is watching from Malta.
Yeah. So this would have been 2 months ago. I was in Malta. I was watching the show in Malta.
You were watching the show in Malta?
Yeah, I was watching it. I mean, a lot of times I'm behind the scenes. I watch a lot of things. I see a lot of things. I'm up to date with what's going on, for sure. Not just because of the ambassadorship, but just because of the love that I have for knowledge and always wanting to be aware of things. Because even when I perform here, like I did a youth sports and culture event, a talent show over the weekend, this past Saturday, and just the basis of the event was about mental health and so forth. So I gave like a nice, I did a set, of course, that's what they brought me in for, but at the same time, I gave an important message throughout the set.
Give that message, because I'll tell you, Overdose, I don't know, well, you have been watching and paying attention from a distance, because he is really a one straight week in the Bahamas. I'll tell you that. In fact, he's leaving later in this week, right? But that is an issue, and I know you've seen the headlines, you've seen it. It's an issue where people your age, younger, even more mature people, male and female, and especially men in recent time, seem to have a hard time getting hold of emotions or whatever the issue is. What did you tell that crowd at the weekend that you can share this evening? Yeah, so it was very family oriented. So there was a lot of parents there. There were guardians. Let me use that terminology first. There was a lot of guardians in there, and then their kids or nieces and nephews. And I just relayed a message to them, and I was like, parents, understand that your kids may not know exactly how to express themselves sometimes. Because us in this younger generation, we're very vocal. However, it can come across sometimes with a little attitude, with a little aggression, and it come off a bit, rude or disrespectful. But pay attention to the message that's being given. Pay attention to the cry out for help, rather than focusing on how disrespectful it might have came off. We could address that at another time, but give them that open space. Give them that opportunity to be able to express themselves in whatever form they need to. Because there's a lot of kids that look to other kids for advice, but we need people who have experience. We need people that went through things in life. Because at the same time, like I've always been told from my dad, like, you guys have been at a certain age before we've been that age. So they know certain things that happen, transitions in kids' lives. They know some things. So at the same time, I feel like a lot of parents need to be a bit more involved when it comes to their kids. Asking them beyond, do you have homework? More like, how was your day? And listen. And pay attention to the details of what they say. Because even in my field, like, it can be a bit lonely for me when I travel.
You know, I'm in therapy now. I'm doing the right things that I need to take, the right precautions to stay
So you're
mentally
a firm believer in mental health
and mental health.
in checking in
definitely
with yourself and perhaps with a professional.
Correct.
Just to, and sometimes it's just to hear you, just to talk, to hear yourself talk.
I think it's very important.
Everyone needs that annual, whatever, quarterly, whatever it is for you, check in.
Correct. You just need it. And I think I'll encourage everybody to just find at least one person that you're able to be comfortable with and you know that has your best intentions. And just be open, you know. Sometimes just having a conversation or just speaking and allowing, and even somebody who's receiving information from someone, sometimes just listen. Sometimes they don't need you to answer back.
That's that.
Sometimes you just need to you need to listen in air.
Yeah.
You know, so that plays a role for everybody because everybody's going through some sort of struggle. Somebody's struggle might be stronger or louder or more, you know, crazy or whatever the case might be. But at the same time, like everybody's going through something. So I think that's very important. That's a platform that I stand firm on.
No, I support that. I started the mental health discussion on a show that I had, The Conversation with Shanique Miller.
Correct.
And I think like 2018, January 2018, and periodically I revisit it still. So I know it's hugely important.
Very important.
But what does being a cultural ambassador mean to you? Like, how do you define that and how do you play that role out?
So for me, like, I feel like I've always been an ambassador or an advocate for the Bahamas, definitely. Because everywhere I go, I'm like, from the Bahamas, there's a lot of people that don't know where the Bahamas is. There's a lot of people that say, I've always dreamed about going to the Bahamas. How is it over there? Like, they're in awe. You know, I went to Guadeloupe 2 months ago as well in the French Caribbean. And I had told some people, like, when they met me, they were like, and they speak English, but it's very scarce. Super French. So when they're trying to express themselves, it takes them so long to express themselves, but they'll get to the point. So they told me, they were like, you're really from the Bahamas? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, that's my dream place to go. Like out of anywhere in the world.
Wow.
That's their dream place. And I told them, I was like, well, we need to make that happen. You know, and I feel like at the same time with me doing my part and sharing the importance of what my country brings to the world, you know, outside of just the best beaches and nice hotels and resorts. But we also have, you know, good local food.
We do.
We have nicest people.
We do.
As much as sometimes Bahamians
break
can
on
be
each
a
other's
little,
nerves.
you know.
But
I feel like we do that to each other. I feel like that's what we do to each other.
We do it to each other, but don't you outside think you could do it to us.
Correct, I agree.
Yes.
So,
yes,
you know, so with that being said, like, I just feel like I just give off like that vibe to tell everybody, like, you know, we're friendly here. We have a lot to offer, and it's just good vibes and good energy anytime you come to the Bahamas.
But this is so awesome because when I have a youth panel, by the way.
Correct.
And they are first-time voters, and they went wild over your appointment.
I saw those. I saw those clips.
Oh, you saw it?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
told you,
okay.
I'm a regular here.
Yeah, no. How is
Yeah.
it? This guy, seriously and totally all over the world.
Yeah.
So I am so happy that he actually takes the time to watch the show.
This was something that I was very adamant about and saying I need to be here because it's out of the norm for a lot of people, especially, you know, in my generation, because a lot of times, like, I try to press upon them, like, to be able to have a conversation, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that know what they want to say, but they don't know how to say it sometimes. So they're not really somebody that can come on a forum like this and be able to just articulate.
What is the biggest opportunity you have had? I mean, for example, you leave this week for others for new assignments.
Correct.
And that happens just like this. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you have even reinvented what being a celebrity DJ looks like.
Correct.
Because you have to keep evolving.
Definitely. So for me, I just think so let's repeat that question because I feel like it could go. There's a lot more things that we will be able to say if we just so repeat your question again.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, how do you continue evolving because after the pandemic,
correct,
if you were amazing, you jumped out, you got all these bookings. Now the bookings are continuing to come in and you continue to be sort of desired and one of the hottest DJs in the world.
Correct. So for me, I don't even look at myself as a DJ. Like, I just look at myself as a brand and somebody that is good at being an entertainer. But at the same time, like, when I step out, like, the look is different, the vibe is different, the message is different. A lot of people go with a message to try to get everybody riled up, but I feel like the importance of it is giving people something to look forward to. Like, I'm very big on friendships and somebody that, you know, having people a part of your life that care about you and love you. So my initial go-to every time I'm at an event is, like, look at somebody and tell them that you love them. Look at somebody and tell them that you care about them, because there's so many moments that we have, but we miss those opportunities because of the fact that we think tomorrow is promised. So I feel like that's the importance of, and I feel like that's why I'm continuously blessed as well, because I'm in a situation where I use my platform, I use the voice that I have to also impact people.
Good.
You know, so I feel like it's way bigger than music. I feel like this, and it's way bigger than even being just a cultural ambassador as well, even though the title for me is one of the greatest things that's ever happened in my life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm just very appreciative of just being in a place or being put in a position to affect people's lives in a positive way, impact them in a positive way.
And bring happiness and
And
joy.
bring happiness
I mean,
and joy.
music does that.
Correct.
You know, and obviously
You know.
with the right music in particular, meaning
Yeah,
the right
yeah.
lyrics, it
Correct.
even just adds to it more. Now, what's up with, and y'all don't sponsor the show, so y'all should just praise God for this free ad. What does this thing, listen, since you've been here, and only been like maybe a week,
Yeah.
since you've been here,
Yeah.
you've been serving at the window
Yeah,
at Burger King.
so-
What is that about?
So I did a thing
That's
with
him
Burger
right there,
King.
y'all. That's him at Burger King uniform.
So you see how like I kind of styled it up a little
Yes,
bit
yes,
too.
no, I see
so I
how
made it,
fancy
you
you're
know,
trying to look
even
and
though
all,
it's a
you
little
know,
hazard
cool
with
and-
me having short pants on, but at the same time we weren't doing anything crazy. They just taught me like, you know, how to make the sandwiches, make a little Whopper, you know what I mean, and how to actually, because a lot of people can't rap. So I had to learn
So
how to.
there's a whole skill and
There's
whole
a whole
technique
skill
to
and
it.
technique.
Yes,
I took
yes, yes.
3 minutes, and I was like, question, how long does it take y'all to really do this? It's like 30 seconds, and I took like 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's your first time.
You know,
Listen,
but at the same time,
the next trip when you come back, you'll be able to.
correct.
yes,
but
yes,
I
skills.
got an appreciation for somebody else's job.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it was an eye opener for me because I'm thinking, at the same time, we hear like honking our horn trying to figure out why food taking so long. But like they're actually in there seriously working. So it's like it gave me a greater appreciation for people that have other jobs outside of what people may think like, oh, my job might be complicated, but I would look at their job and be like,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
complicated today. You
So
know?
that's another thing. You have respect for others who
Definitely.
people may say, oh, y'all just work fast food. No.
Yeah, no.
They take pride in what they
They
do.
definitely
and
do.
they too have an important place
Correct.
in the overall scheme of life
Definitely.
and the way of life here or anywhere else.
Definitely.
That's real. I enjoy talking to you.
Nah,
I heard about you.
Yeah.
I heard you watch the show wherever
do,
you are,
yeah.
all the way in Europe or the Middle
Yeah.
East or wherever it is
Yeah.
that he is at the moment.
Correct.
But it's so awesome meeting
Thank
you.
you.
Congratulations on your
I appreciate
ambassadorship. Get this man this passport.
Yeah.
My lord.
Let's do it. Come on.
Get him by. He shouldn't be.
I know I'm not
the,
always here.
The ambassador should not be
You know,
standing in line waiting for things.
I mean-
Waiting to get through.
Yeah, but however, you know, I'm just grateful still for being able to be acknowledged, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm appreciative of it. So shout out to the whole team, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture for sure. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, His Excellency Jasper Thomas, also
Correct.
better known as
Better known.
DJ
Yes.
Overdose. I thank you so much
Thank you.
for being here. And
I
when you come
appreciate
back again, listen, come say hello. It doesn't
Nah,
matter what-
definitely, for sure.
whatever.
I'll come by, for
Come
sure.
back when we're doing temperature check. And so to see who we slapping up that night.
Oh.
But no, just kidding. Listen, I thank you very much once
Thank
again
you.
for being here. Of course, I'm so grateful, of course, to the Hot Topics panelists, Peggy Scott and the Gabrielle McKenzie Enius. And of course, a big thank you to all of you. It's been awesome having you along this evening. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.